So Intel is in early talks to add AMD as a foundry customer. AMD didn't immediately respond to a request for comment, and Intel declined to comment. But there were reports in April from Reuters that AMD was evaluating Intel's manufacturing technology. Of course, Intel has invested aggressively in building out its manufacturing capabilities, both enhancing its technology and expanding the availability of technology, the availability of manufacturing capacity to be able to service outside customers in addition to its own needs to manufacture the chips that Intel brands and designs itself, but also to manufacture chips that are designed by AMD or NVIDIA or others. It wants to become both a foundry for manufacturing semiconductor chips and also a brand designing and manufacturing its own chips. The company has invested tens of billions of dollars in the foundry segment, and investors have felt those investments were too much. It has yet to deliver good returns on those investments. It hasn't highlighted a big customer or a big increase in revenue in that segment. And so these signs that NVIDIA and AMD are evaluating and considering is great news for Intel stock investors. The share price jumped 7%, more than 7% on the back of that news. And of course, I'm happy about that. I've had Intel stock rated as a buy all year long here in 2025. So I'm happy to see the stock performing well and performing in line with other semiconductor companies that have performed really well during this AI boom. Intel was one of the laggards up until this year. Up until recent weeks, it's getting some notoriety and some attention, and it's getting some interest from investors, and that's been great news. So I calculated an intrinsic value per share for Intel at $29.45. The current market price is $36. Now, that's likely an understatement of its intrinsic value per share, as these recent deals are, I don't think, completely reflected in the current intrinsic value per share. And in fact, for the AMD deal, I know for sure it's not reflected because I haven't done anything to update my free cash flow expectations based on this news today because there isn't enough detail. It's just news that they are considering and evaluating, but we haven't heard any of the details. Click the link below to watch the full video.